Welcome to the homepage of the WIDES database for disinfectants. The WIDES database has been developed as an instrument that enables persons who procure disinfectants to give equal consideration to product effectiveness, occupational safety, and environmental protection criteria in the selection process. With WIDES, it takes users just a few mouse clicks to select those products from the market supply that qualify best in terms of proven effectiveness for specific applications and at the same time have the lowest impact on the health of users or the environment. This video provides you a brief introduction on how to use WIDES, which is freely accessible on the Internet. This is how you access the database. Click on the green button on the database portal page. Once you have confirmed your acceptance on the conditions of use and liability, you will be taken to the main page of the WIDES database. Under the heading Documentation, you will find a user manual and a description of the assessment scheme developed for WIDES. From the main page, you can also access the modules Assessed Ingredients and Products. Under Assessed Ingredients, you can find general information and hazard profiles for numerous classical ingredients of disinfectants, such as biocidal active substances, surfactants, solvents, or fragrances. By clicking on Show Overview of Ingredients, you will access an overview of all substances currently described in the database. At the moment, here more than 200. Here you will also find related synonyms and the corresponding CAS numbers, and you can search for a specific substance by its name or its CAS number. Or you can select a concrete substance and click on the respective profile. And here you can click on the profiles and also back. On the far right, you find our so-called ABC categorization of ingredients. In order to facilitate the selection of safe disinfectants, we differentiate between substances regarding their hazardous properties. On the basis of classifications and/or data gaps, each substance is assigned a high, medium or low hazard potential, and this is made visible with red, yellow or white boxes. It is also possible to rank all substances based on this assignment. By clicking the button Show Assessment of Ingredients, you will access an overview of all the substances assessed by our team of experts. Here, the individual substances are broken down into 6 impact categories. In each impact category, the respective substance is assigned an assessment number from 1 to 7. The impact categories are acute toxicity, especially for the respiratory tract, irritation and corrosivity, sensitization, allergenic potential, mutagenic, carcinogenic, reprotoxic or chronically toxic, and behavior in surface waters, acute and chronic. The assessment numbers 1 to 7 indicate the hazard potential of the respective substance in the respective impact category. The assessment number 1 indicates no hazard, while 2 stands for low, 3 for moderate, 4 for high, and 5 for very high hazard potential. 6 and 7 stands for extreme high hazard potential. In the event that the data available for any of the impact categories are inconsistent or insufficient, this is indicated by a question mark. In this way, data gaps are also made clearly visible in the database. The assessment rules are primarily based on the categorization of the respective substances by means of the hazard statements, which, in accordance with the applicable international legislation, are generally used to describe the hazard potential of substances. For more information, please open the video clip in which Dr. Manfred Klade describes the assessment scheme, or download the corresponding PDF file in the documentation section. On the Overview of Ingredients page, you have the possibility of ranking the substances by impact category and hazard potential from low to high, for instance, sensitization allergenic potential. With a double click, the substances with high allergenic potential can be found on the top of the list. An overall ranking based on the already mentioned ABC categorization is also possible. The detailed evaluation on the left side make it clear which hazardous properties lead to category A. For instance, the substance linalool is assigned to category A because of their allergenic potential. Silver nitrate is assigned to category A because of the behavior in surface waters. With few exceptions, fragrances are not shown individually in the database, because producers usually do not provide sufficient information on fragrances contained in their products. In particular, product formulations fail to state the concentration of fragrances contained. A reliable evaluation in the product assessment is therefore not possible. However, under the heading Duftstoff bzw. parfumfrei, which means fragrance perfume-free, you can access a list of fragrance-free disinfectants. So rank by name and go to Duftstoff-free. Or perfume-free. And here you have a list of fragrance or perfume-free products integrated in the WIDES database. Under the heading Duftstoffe mit allergenen Eigenschaften, fragrances with allergenic potential, you can access a list of all the products included in the database that contain fragrances with allergenic potential. Individual substance profiles can be assessed either on the overview page or by means of a separate search function on the start page of Assessed Ingredients. For instance, here for 1-propanol, you can click to the profile or by back to ingredient search. Or you have only CAS number, which is shown here. Then you can search by CAS number also. Here we are. From the page Search for assessed ingredients, you can also search for certain groups of ingredients. For instance, for biocidal substances, so that they are shown for their own. The entire list of ingredients, including the ratings, might be a bit confusing due to the large number of over 200 substances. Here you can select an overview of active substances on their own. These lists can also be printed out. They help experts in hygiene, occupational health, or environmental protection to select products with less harmful active substances. Category A active ingredients should only be used if there are no alternatives due to the required spectrum of activity or their material compatibility. So if possible, then use active substances from category C. Now I would like to introduce to you our substance profiles. For example, I select the profile of glutaraldehyde. We access an overview page with general information on this chemical substance, such as synonyms or identification numbers, physical and chemical properties, classification as agent and hazardous material, and information regarding the toxicity for aquatic life. At the end of the page, you will find a list of all products included in the database that contain glutaraldehyde, or whichever substance you have selected, including its concentration in the product and the respective age statements derived from the safety data sheets. By clicking the button Show Assessment of Ingredients, you can access our assessment of the respective substance in the aforementioned categories, as well as the vapor pressure-based exposition factors of the substance. For more information, please refer to the aforementioned video clip by Dr. Manfred Klade or the PDF file that describes the assessment scheme. Under the assessment number assigned to the respective category, you will find the statements of the reasons for the assessment and the sources on which the respective assessment is based. This approach ensures that the evaluation process is as transparent as possible. Below, you will find the results of various standard testing methods used to describe defined hazardous properties of substances. These were taken over from various external studies and databases. The respective sources are always indicated, but we cannot guarantee the accuracy of the data. This page also includes a collection of links to other substance databases where further information on the respective substances can be accessed. And here is how to generate the assessment profile for glutaraldehyde. For acute toxicity, especially for the respiratory tract, we assign assessment number 6, according to H330, fatal if inhaled, in combination with H314, causes severe skin burns and eye damage. H314 leads also to assessment number 4 in the category irritation and corrosivity. For sensitization allergenic potential, we assigned number 5 according to H334, may cause allergy or asthma symptoms or breathing difficulties if inhaled. For CMR effects, we assign assessment number 1, according to the EU assessment report, which is created within the process of notification. For the behavior in surface waters, acute and also chronic, we assigned both assessment number 3, according to H400, very toxic to aquatic life with M factor 1, and H411, toxic to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. Having obtained an overview of how to assess ingredients, we now go to the Products module. To get there, you simply click on Search by Products at the bottom of the page. On the Overview page of the Products module, you find the link Show Product Overview, which brings you to a clear overview of all the products currently included in the database. In the columns beside the products, listed in alphabetical order, you find the manufacturer of the respective product, including a link to the manufacturer's homepage, in case you require information such as contacts maybe. The product list also provides information regarding the field of application and the biocidal active substances contained in the product, also including their categorization based on the high, medium or low hazard potential, which is indicated by red, yellow and white boxes. The profile of individual products can be opened here by clicking on a specific product or from the start page of the module Products. Here you will find information on the manufacturer, the S statements and the hazard statements, information regarding the chemical and physical properties, and the water hazard class according to the manufacturer's safety data sheet. For alcoholic products, you can also see an assessment regarding the flammability of the product. The product's applications and exposure times stated by the manufacturers were double-checked by independent institutions, and the results were published in the experts' reports or lists of disinfectants drawn up by these institutions. The data contained in this database are cited from these sources. For more information on the institutions carrying out these tests, please refer to the information window with the respective references. Here you have also information about the field of application and the material compatibility from the manufacturer. Under Product Components, you will find a framework formulation that integrates all assessment-relevant information from the respective manufacturer's safety and product data sheets. In the WIDES product assessment, only the product components for which manufacturers provide a concentration statement can be taken into account, because the WIDES approach is based on a comparison of application solutions for a given application. For this reason, the product information does not include a hazard profile. However, for your information, we have included information on the content of fragrances and colorants in the product formulation. As previously explained, this enables users to generate a list of products that are free of fragrances or colorants. The color code of the already explained categorization based on the high, medium, or low risk can also be found. If you now want to know more about the hazard potential of a specific product in comparison to other products, for rapid surface disinfection, take the following steps. Make note of the field of application of the respective product, in this case from disinfect test, as well as at least one spectrum of activity and an exposure time from the table showing the respective spectrum of activity and the substance concentration. In our case, this is rapid surface disinfection alcoholic and yeasticidal, dirty conditions and mechanic action, and an exposure time of 5 minutes. Now return to search for product information and assessments. Here you can select the field of application of the respective product. In this case, rapid surface disinfection alcoholic. In the list that now appears, click on the spectrum of activity and the exposure time you previously noted. You will now see a list of products which WAH or OEGHMP also tested for effectiveness under similar conditions. Among these products, you will also find the product disinfect test. Beside the product name, you can see the manufacturer and the biocidal active substances contained in the product. The 7 columns show the WIDES assessment in the 6 categories for which we generated a substance assessment, and for alcoholic products also for the flammability, which is also assessed. The product assessment is generated by using a calculation algorithm that consolidates the substance assessment data, taking into account the concentration of the substance in the respective, possibly diluted application solution. For a better visualization, the assessment numbers thus obtained have been translated into shades of color, spanning the spectrum from pale yellow to red. The darker the color, the higher the hazard potential of the respective product. Some color fields additionally include 1 or more question marks. Each of these question marks stands for an ingredient for which insufficient information was available in the respective assessment category. Due to this lack of information, we were not able to make a reliable statement on the hazard potential. In this example, you see an orange field with 1 question mark. This means at least one of the product ingredients in the given product concentration has a comparatively moderate hazard potential in this impact category. The product in question contains 1 ingredient for which the information available was insufficient to make a statement as to their hazard potential. If the lacking information were available, the color of this field and thus the hazard potential would in the best case remain the same, but in the worst case it might even change into dark red, because the non-assessed substance actually has a high hazard potential in this category, even if it is not known at present or not disclosed by the manufacturer owing to a lack of information. In this list, you can now search for products with fewer question marks and a more favorable assessment with regard to the properties that are of critical importance for you. For instance, their potential to cause allergenic reactions. So, if you want, you can rank sensitization, allergenic potential, or you can rank behavior in surface waters chronic. Here you can see that the product disinfect test has the worst assessment of all products in this list. If you want to exclude certain ingredients, for instance with allergenic potential, then you can also use our programmable filter. Here you can exclude certain age statements, for instance causing allergenic reactions. And please use the buttons trick to select more age phrases. Here, age 317 and age 334. And now apply the filter. So now you have a list of products with no allergenic potential. In the area of hygienic hand disinfection, the WIDES database has become legally binding due to a decree of the Austrian Ministry of Social Affairs from 2016. The ministry regulates the use of hand disinfectants by pregnant workers in a decree under paragraph 4 of the Maternity Protection Act. It also lists the WIDES database as a possibility to identify hand disinfectants that comply with the decree and can therefore be used by pregnant workers. If you click on the link you see now on the page, you will be taken directly to the list of hand disinfectants in the WIDES database that meet the criteria of the decree and can therefore also be used by pregnant workers. Manufacturers who would like to integrate products in the WIDES database are welcome to apply for inclusion of the products by writing to our contact address, provided that the products meet the criteria stated in the database. Just send us an email under the contact address given on our website. I hope that my presentation was helpful for you, and thank you for the attention.